So when it comes to investing in individual stocks, a retail investor like you and me is often faced with a dilemma, as in how many stocks we should have in our portfolio. And whenever a newbie investor sets out on an investing journey in the stock market, they always have one doubt in their mind, that how they can build a well-diversified portfolio and how many stocks are considered to be too few, or on the other hand, how many stocks are considered to be too many. And the fact that is even more daunting about it, that there is no straightforward answer to this million-dollar question, and it would generally vary from person to person based on their investment goals. But the good thing is that there are certain rules that we can consider and that can help us to make a well-informed decision regarding this question that keeps bothering us every now and then. In this video, we will try to find an answer for this question and determine how many stocks one should own in their stock portfolio to make it well diversified. But before that, let us understand what do we mean by a well-diversified portfolio and why is it so important to diversify our investments. As we know, a wise man once said, do not put all your eggs in single basket. So diversification simply means investing your money in the companies that are from different sectors or from different industries in order to reduce the overall risk on our portfolio. However, for making significant returns on our investments, we should not over-diversify or under-diversify our portfolio of stocks, because when we leave our portfolio under-diversified, we stand on a risk of getting our returns hampered in a big way by poor performance of a single stock in our portfolio. In similar way, when we tend to over-diversify our investments, then a stellar performance of a single stock won't be able to show any significant effect on our entire portfolio. So we can see here that the number of stocks in our portfolio has a direct connection with the risk and the returns. If the number of stocks in our portfolio is on the higher side, then our portfolio also becomes well diversified and the risk would also be reduced. Similarly, if the number of stocks in our portfolio is on the lower side, then our portfolio is left poorly diversified and the risk on investments would also be increased. Hence, we really need to hit the sweet spot between over-diversification and under-diversification in order to reduce our risk and generate good returns from the stock market. Now coming back to our question, how many stocks we should have in our portfolio. Actually, the number varies somewhere from 15 to 30. By the way, there is no one-size-fits-all answer to this question, since this is influenced by a variety of factors that include your risk appetite, investment time horizon, and many others. However, to make it simple, we can consider a few important points in order to make our portfolio well diversified with the ideal number of stocks for ourselves. So the first point is the time you have to research and track. Friends, we really need to consider how much time we can allocate to analyze the stocks and to track their financial results and any news related to them once we have invested in those stocks. The reason for tracking the news and the results of the companies is that we never know which company or sector might start their downhill journey and at what point. We don't want any of our investments to become Yes Bank, DHFL or Suzlon Energy. So it becomes really important for us to keep up with the news that is related to our companies that we have invested in, because we don't want to be sitting on a huge losses on any of our holdings. When we have a huge number of stocks in our portfolio, say for example 50, then it becomes increasingly difficult for us to keep a tab on all of these companies, and it might also happen that we don't look at some of these stocks for months or even for years. Hence, it becomes really important for us to hold on only those many stocks in our portfolio which we can track and keep ourselves up to date with whatever news that is there in the market related to these stocks. So now comes the second point, investing in the sector that you understand. Guys, there is absolutely no need to catch each and every hot stock and the stock that is the talk of the town, and no matter how good the returns it can provide, if you don't understand the business of that company or that industry as a whole, you will always stand at a risk of throwing darts in the dark. There are around 4,000 actively traded companies on the stock exchanges like NSE and BSE. Just pick the stocks from the sectors or industries you understand well and of the companies that you have conviction on and you are good at. There will always be a stock or a sector which is a hot topic in social media and news, but you do not need to go every party in the town. So the third point is keep on investing in the existing stocks you have. We should invest our additional savings in our existing portfolio of stocks itself. If you have some surplus savings amount every month, that does not necessarily mean you should go and buy a new stock every month. Unless your portfolio already has a sizable amount of stocks, we should always design our portfolio by keeping future in mind. As we have already discussed, if you don't have enough time to track the performance of our stocks, then it becomes sensible to invest in the existing stocks rather than setting out to find a new stock every month. So unless your existing portfolio is under diversified or you find out an attractive stock to invest in at current valuations, it makes a lot of sense to keep on investing in the current portfolio of stocks. So the fourth point is risk appetite. Another important factor to be accounted for is your appetite for risk on your investments, because it will help you choose an industry, a sector, or a type of stocks once you are aware of your tolerance to risk. For example, if you have a well-diversified portfolio, then if one of the stocks that you hold underperforms or tanks completely, then the overall impact of it on your portfolio would be minimal. Hence, the first rule of investing, do not put all your eggs in one basket, makes so much sense here. So once you know your risk appetite, you can opt for a balance of small cap stocks, mid cap stocks, and large cap stocks accordingly. Similarly, it works for various sectors too. So the fifth and final point is time horizon of investment. Guys, stock markets are meant to give best returns over long term. There might be some stocks that do give stellar returns overnight, but a portfolio of such stocks is not sustainable over long term, as we cannot predict when the tide might turn against us. So as a retail investor, our focus should be to create a healthy stock portfolio, keeping a long-term picture in mind instead of focusing on the short-term glory, because investments made in equities are generally meant to be long-term investments. That's why most people believe in the buy and hold philosophy of investing. And also, if our investment horizon is of long term, this also reduces the short term risk, such as short term price fluctuation in the stock market. In conclusion, we can say that the ideal number of stocks in our portfolio can vary from 15 to 30, which are from different sectors or industries depending on our investment strategy. But to be honest, it really depends on a particular individual and how they picture their portfolio in the long term. However, you can take into consideration the points that we have discussed in this video to make a decision for yourself. Guys, like Warren Buffett once said, stock market is a place where the money gets transferred from the impatient to the patient. I would request you to keep a long-term horizon of investment in your mind when you are entering in the stock market. And I wish you all the best in your investment journey. I hope you found this video useful and it solved the doubt you had in your mind. Please press the like button and share it with your friends to make them aware of these things too. Also, please do comment your views and the topics you would like to see a video on. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss a video from me. I will meet you in a new informative video. Till then, goodbye and take care.